If you walk into any store today, chances are there will be some sort of electronic payment system available that is fast and relatively easy, but still, a large percentage of people still use cash for their day-to-day activities. Why is this? The move towards electronic and contactless payments has been gaining momentum for some years, but it hasn't quite gotten there yet. Should this be a source of worry? Is a cashless society something that will always be so close, but we might not really get? Will we ever become a cashless society? This video will answer all these questions today, so sit back, get a drink, and enjoy. In 1994, the Wu-Tang Clan had the whole world singing, "Cash rules everything around me, cream, get that money, dollar bills, y'all."
Cash rules everything around me, cream, get the money, dollar bill, y'all.
But almost 29 years later, cash is borderline irrelevant and the cashless society of the future is here. The short answer is to embrace change or get left behind. So what does a 100% cashless society look like? It seems revolutionary, but it might not be as close as you might think. Despite a gradual decline in cash usage, it's still a popular choice of payment method. In 2012, despite the fact that most of the transactions taking place were carried out using debit and credit cards, cash remained king. Then along came COVID and everything changed. Although digital payments had made significant progress in terms of popularity by 2020, a cashless world was apparently still decades away. COVID sped that process up because obviously, cashless transactions provided convenience in a world where everyone was indoors. However, a new element was added to the mix that accelerated the decline in cash transactions: hygiene. There was public concern that COVID-19 was being transmitted by cash. Although scientific evidence suggests that the risk is low when compared with other frequently touched objects such as pin pads. However, there's no denying that COVID-19 could be transmitted by cash. The World Health Organization was advising consumers to avoid handling banknotes and to instead switch to contactless payments. Central banks across the world also took appropriate precautionary steps. The People's Bank of China, for example, started to disinfect banknotes in the most virus-affected regions. In the UK, cash usage halved in just a few days, although this was partly due to the government's imposition of a nationwide lockdown on freedom of movement. But the point is, people were using cash less and less. One major advantage of going cashless is a significant reduction in crime. When people are handling less cash, bank robberies, burglaries, and corruption drop, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out why. Because cash is essentially untraceable, it's a useful tool for criminals, whereas digital currency is less easy to exploit and can be shut down quickly if it falls into the wrong hands. Advanced technologies such as biometrics, where the individual's physical and behavioral characteristics are measured and analyzed, makes copying and fraud increasingly difficult. Innovations such as embedded microchips, digital wallets, geolocation, and artificial intelligence payment systems will all continue to strengthen the security around cashless transactions. Even apart from the security, going cashless is easier. It gives the consumer greater ease in the everyday management of money for individuals and businesses. The need to store, protect, withdraw, and deposit physical money disappears. International travel would also be more convenient without the exchange of paper currencies. The future of a cashless society is being shaped by Sweden and other Nordic countries. Sweden is one of the most technologically advanced nations in the world, and they are certainly leading the way. In fact, they are expected to become the world's first cashless society by March 2023. After that, cash will not be accepted as a means of payment. Swish, the mobile payment system, is very close to becoming the Swedish standard for mobile payments. The app is used by over half of the population in Sweden already, and only 13% of the total population in Sweden relies on cash. Children are also part of the transition, and some of them will never know of a world where cash transactions are widely accepted unless they travel. Swedish banks issued debit cards to citizens aged 7 years onwards with parental permission, which translates to more than 97% of the population. This introduces them to the cashless society early on. Eventually, this will be their future. More than 99% of Swedish merchants and retailers accept debit cards. Sweden's progress is truly remarkable, but like any big change, it won't be easy. And there will be many problems that will need ironing out. There is a risk of millions of people being left behind with the shift to a cashless society. There are still many people who are unable to make digital payments because they don't have a bank account, credit card, debit card, or smartphone. In addition, there are also people with very limited knowledge of financial services, and moving towards a cashless society could potentially leave those who aren't comfortable with online banking or require support behind. Many small-town merchants still don't offer card or contactless payments, and when you need to get a little gift or donation, you still use cash. The switch, of course, will be easier for some than others, but that doesn't justify leaving anyone behind. Whether we like it or not, a completely cashless society is on the horizon. The discussion remains focused on when we will see it happen. All we need was the big change to push the final barrel over, and that was COVID-19. Now, more merchants are now encouraged to go cashless. A cashless future is closer than you might think, but what's in front of you right now is that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, you should click it and also drop a like on the video. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one.